the Chore coat. Simple, practical, versatile, and always in style. Thing is, they all look kinda the same, design-wise at least. Nothing wrong with that, but sometimes you want something a little different, something more elegant, something like this jacket. It's from Bleu de Chauffe, and if you've never heard of them, they're a French leather goods brand big on the whole made in France ethos, and they're mostly known for their bags which, based on the images, you can tell has an old world charm and rugged sensibility. Anyway, they gave me this jacket and also this bag to review. Links to them in the description. So let's get to it. So this is the Germinal work jacket, and it's basically Bleu de Chauffe's take on the classic Chore jacket, but with some subtle stylish tweaks. I'll get to those details later. Okay, starting with the fabric, it's a moleskin fabric made from organic cotton. It feels sturdy, almost has a bulletproof quality to it, and the outside is lightly brushed, giving it a soft, peachy hand. This being cotton, it will develop more character as it fades. Mine will probably fade extra slow because given how hefty and tightly woven it is, I won't be wearing it in Singapore. At least not outside of a casual and chilly office. Although for the same reason, I can see myself wearing this on my next spring or fall holiday. Construction-wise, the jacket is made like a shirt. Nothing much to say about it other than that the stitching is consistent all around and there are felt seams. It's always nice to see felt seams, but my only gripe with the jacket, well, apart from the sleeves that are way too long, more on that later, is that the buttons aren't shanked. They really should be shanked given the price. Not to mention, they feel like plastic. That's it, I've got no issues using them so far, so hopefully they'll hold up over time. Now, my favorite part about this jacket is how all the design details come together to create a timeless yet subtly different look. Starting with the collar, it has kind of a white spread to it. I think it looks good whether with a t-shirt or a collar top or even buttoned up all the way. Next, the inner pocket has one side of the seam stitched along the placket, so it has an L shape compared to other Chore jackets with a U shape. I wouldn't say this is an uncommon detail. Regardless, it's a cleaner look, in my opinion. Moving down to the bottom pockets, you can see they are placed more towards the sides. Again, not an uncommon detail, but having them like that, along with the rounded quarters, as well as ironing down the placket, is reminiscent of a sport coat. In fact, I'd say it's very much like a shawl collar cardigan, in that it's a casual alternative to a sport coat. So definitely a useful piece to have if you want something that looks like a sport coat without the stuffiness associated with it. Anyway, you can see it has a boxy fit, so there's plenty of room for chunky layers. I'm wearing an XS, and like I said earlier, the sleeves are way too long. But the body length is just right on my short frame, so I'm guessing this was designed for people with longer arms. I've since altered it to fit me, although there's always the option to roll the sleeves if that's your thing. Okay, so that's the jacket. Now on to the bag. So this is the Cartridge belt in the Cuba Libre colorway. It's a relatively slim and squarish sling pouch inspired by late 19th century military and hunting bags where you don't want the bag getting in the way, as well as for storing ammunition, aka cartridges, hence the name. The leather on this is a full-grain veg tanned cowhide. It's got a good thickness to it, just the right balance of pliability and stiffness to provide structure to the bag, and the edge painting job is also okay. Now, I'm not sure if it's the lack of quality control, the natural variation of leather, or just Bleu de Chauffe using different parts of the hide, but the grain on the leather panels do not match the images. It's probably them using different parts of the hide, given that on the underside, the flap has a longer nap than the other panels. It's not a con for me, but I know for some of you it might be, so just wanna put it out there. That aside, the hardware is made of brass. It complements the rugged look of the bag, and I'd imagine that will be even more the case as the leather patinas over time. Also not sure what this hook is for, but whatever you hang on it will get in the way, so I just leave it as it is. Okay, next, the bag features a keyhole style closure with a debossed BDC branding. It does start off stiff, but like all veg tan leather, it softens up after a while, and right now, the closing action is super satisfying. On the inside, there's a removable cotton canvas compartment. The zipper is from YKK, and there's a label detailing the date of manufacture and the artisan who made this, so if you're watching, hi Chris. In terms of the wearing experience, well, I'm not really a bag person. I hate putting my stuff in my trouser pocket and much prefer putting them in my jacket pockets. So the only time I wear this is if my jacket doesn't have suitable pockets or when the weather is too hot for a jacket. But I digress. I usually just put my phone, wallet, sometimes tissue paper inside, and I like how the bag is concave, so it sort of allows the bag to better lean against my hips. On the other hand, the adjustable strap isn't so great. For one, this area isn't beveled cleanly. For another, I like to sling the bag close to my body, which creates this excess length, but there's no place to properly tuck it in. And like a wedged hand insole on welted shoes, the squeaks are annoying. And perhaps the biggest flaw for me would be how the bumps here can press onto my collarbone. It's not really an issue with lighter items inside, but if I'm carrying like, say, a small water bottle, I can feel the discomfort, although that's less noticeable with a thicker layer underneath. So both these items go for a bit more than 200 USD, which is surprisingly fair given their made in France credentials. But provenance aside, are the products themselves any good? Well, the Chore Jacket is a hidden gem as far as Chore Jackets go. The sleeves are too long, but that comes with the territory of ready-to-wear clothing not made for shorter guys like me. The bag is fine for what it is, but they definitely gotta fix that strap. So yeah, overall, the materials are up to standard. The craftsmanship is okay, nothing fancy, and I'm guessing a lot of what you pay for is the French labor. So if buying from brands that support these artisans matters to you, and you want that timeless, rugged, heritage look, I'd say Bleu de Chauffe is worth checking out. Links in the description. Until next time, stay sato.